Alright. Did I did the quest. Yeah, okay. That's strange. How the audio is dependent on where Finn is and which way he's facing. That, I find that strange. Instead, it should be just the general area. The camera, where the camera is. I feel like that's how the sound should be playing. Okay, so I can enter this place now. And exit it, apparently, when there's no arrow. Seeing I can exit that side. Oh, there is. It's just hidden in the ground. Stay out of trouble. What have you got for me to loot? We are watching ye. Welcome, Outlander. Ye can stay hither if ye request rest. Ye can stay hither for a mere 400 dinar. No. I'd rather just travel back and stay for free. Off to Stoll to run on mine own. Please accompany me, dear sir. Please behave yourselves. An Outlander. I've never met one before. Welcome to our own city. There's nothing to loot in this place. Do not do anything stupid. Please define stupid. Nice. An open door I can't go through. To the Hall of Beasts. Greetings, brave souls. Thank you, sir. And you are? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Theowin, Hallmaster and Cleric of Knights. Surprisingly, I don't know you. I thought I knew everyone here. Perhaps ye are familiar with mine own father, whose name was Theonar. Oh, of course, Theonar was a brave knight. He stood strong against the cursed Norns until his last breath. I'm sorry for your loss, Hallmaster. I thank ye, milady, but I prefer to dwell on it no longer. Now, if ye please, form a circle around the fountain. What is this? This is how it feels to be blessed, Finn. Not what you expected, eh? Now, are we worthy to receive the armament? May you find faith in duty. May the tree guide you to your faith. Thank you, Theowin. Now go. 'Tis best not to keep the High Chancellor waiting. Come on, let's go. I desire that the High Chancellor will grant me an audience one day. I wish to witness her beauty. Ye are not hither to bring unrest to Mirius, right? Yes? We don't often receive an opportunity to meet Outlanders hither. Fucking hither is such a weird word. Nay, crime shall go unpunished. Oh, what should I do? What's wrong, sir? Stagnation hath struck me like a thunderbolt. I do not know how I should continue my peace. No words shall ever do the High Chancellor justice. Her wisdom, her beauty. Who knows what lies beneath Gwinnell Forest? Doth anyone actually desire to learn the truth? Should I join the army, we are in dire need of brave soldiers to preserve our own peace. Your soldiers always obey orders. I simply desire that ye would not wreak havoc on the peace in Mirius. When I get fustier, I shall join the ranks of Mirius soldiers, so I can protect the High Chancellor from evildoers. To the market. Sup, dude? Watch thine own manners. Do you like my beautiful hair? It's the most beautiful hair in Legrand. Do you require some connotations? I think that's what he said. Where do I get these bone fragments? I can get everything else from the arena. Diamond crystal. Can I be of any assistance to ye? I already have this best sword. I could buy this. But she doesn't need it. She kinda does, but... Oh my god. Where do I get a Vithrali tail? I need this. But I just realized each of the weapons have a type. On the top right it says common or rare. This is the only legendary I have. Everything else is rare or common. No wonder it's insanely strong. I don't really need this. I don't know where to get these materials, but I do want this, and I can afford it. Storage. I regret what I said to that fine sir. What should I purchase? My significant other said that I could purchase anything I desire. It appeareth to me that thou art displaying thine own accomplishments in a boastful manner. What art thou applying? Well, dear sir, thou hasn't a lover, and I have not. Art thou rejoicing yet? Thy meaning escapes me. You're an idiot. Actually, yours are both idiots. I have arrived. I just require some courage to initiate a conversation with her. What, with her? Yeah, he's probably talking about her. Nay, crime shall go unpunished. Recipe. I do not know what I should purchase. I have everything in my own possession already. Welcome to my own shop. Please gaze upon what I have. Just gaze. I can't, like, you know, buy it. Right, I wanted recipes from the other place. That's what I needed the gold for, rather than upgrading weapons. Okay, so I got a bow and a dagger, I think. kind of meh. Oh no, I got a hammer. That's right. Does nice damage. Crit goes down though. Can't even get it anyways. I think I wanted to buy that dagger too, but I didn't have the gold. Do not cause any trouble with her. You should wear proper attire when in audience with the High Chancellor. Watch thine manners in front of the High Chancellor. It is mine own dream to protect the High Chancellor from evildoers. What I'm trying to say is... please behave yourselves. Please, watch where ye wend. Watch thy manners in front of the High Chancellor. You have finished the ritual. I need to pause for a second.
higher up, closest to Lear's realm, is Tir Magmor, home of the divine high Aeosis. Underneath it, there is Legrand. Whence during its first age more than 1,000 years ago, the land was inherited by its 3 native races: humans, the ancient lions of the east, and the 4 great dragons of the north. The eastern land of Legrand, Targon continent, was a peaceful place, unlike the northern Albion, where the dragons and humans are always fighting each other. In the deeper territory of the universe, there is Dune Aiden, home of the vile beings the Lear detests, the Firbolgs. Due to its destructive nature, the Firbolgs brought destruction to their own land, leaving the Dune Aiden shattered to pieces. Soon as they realized they needed another land to occupy, Firbolgs has been trying to find a way to ascend to Legrand, the closest realm. Knowing this, Lear sent down Aeosis to help Legrand's inhabitants defending their own land from the accursed Firbolgs. Numerous Aeosis and 4 apostles, mothers of the heroes, landed in Sesai to inherit the western Legrand, Old Murius to be precise, and built garrison there. During the first years of Firbolg's arrival, all the natives hardly put any fight against them, causing the incomers to occupy the land almost entirely and easily. The heroes also given a hard time fighting against the Firbolgs, which invasion coming from all directions. Most of Old Murius crumbled, but the heroes still striving to defend our homeland. Fortunately, Dralvanir, one of the great dragons of the north, came to help and successfully repelled the invasion, although he was gravely wounded and dying. The help of Dralvanir did not come without hoping something in return. Dralvanir conveyed his wish for the heroes to save the last surviving dragonkin, to which the heroes agreed. Dralvanir's help brought heroes to come to realization about how to protect Legrand entirely, to strengthen the resistance against the Firbolgs. Knowing that they were unconsciously leaving the other parts of Legrand unguarded, they knew they shall expand occupied areas and build quarters over them. Therefore, 3 of the heroes ventured to north, south, and east side of Legrand, while one of them stayed in Urius. The strategy proven could turn the tide of war effectively. Territories occupied by the Firbolg has been decreasing significantly. Even though it was still not enough to cast away the Firbolgs completely, the heroes needed to help the natives whom grown thin in number day after day, and also build stronger resistance at the same time. Therefore, they decided to invite the natives to take part in fighting for the land. They share them own powers to the natives by mating. Luch, hero of the west, stayed here, mating with fellow Aeosis. Luanda, heroes of the east, was mating with the great lion, and gave birth to Aramans. Dagda, hero of the south, was mating with a human of muted society in Phineas, which was also a witch doctor, and gave birth to the Norns. Linus, heroes of the north, had the biggest responsibility, for he must also fulfill his promise to Dralvanir. He was mating with both human and the last dragon of the north. The offspring from human was ones who called the first men, and the offspring from the dragon was the shapeshifters called the Dringers. The heroes taught all of them own descendants to unite and stand strong for them own land. With such immense power, the heroes and Legrand's people could eventually put up a fight against the Firbolgs, and the amount of Firbolgs left in Legrand decreased significantly. However, the heroes were also badly wounded. Despite the wound, the 4 heroes were still trying to complete their own duty to finish the Great War. In order to protect Legrand's future, they all sacrificed their own life to send the Firbolgs back to their own shattered realm. With their own last effort, the heroes pushed the Firbolgs back to Dun Aiden, closed and sealed the breach to prevent the Firbolg from coming back. After the heroes passed away, the children of heroes brought the armaments back to their own home, planted them in the cardinal trees to be the pillars of equilibrium.
So, I realized that I was muted when I was watching that cutscene. So, I mean, all you missed was my voice acting on that entire previous part before the cutscene. Also, her voice didn't suit her very well, in my opinion. Also, there's no background music anymore. Thus, they would also be available if Legrand ever had to face another cataclysm, as the heroes mentioned in their final testament. Thousands of years after the hero's departure, the Second Age of Legrand began, and with it began everlasting bloodshed. The heroes warned that the Fearbog's defeat would never stop them from striving to return to Legrand unless they were annihilated. But it seems the descendants of the heroes became carried away by their victory and slowly began to forget the testament and even their own history. So before I continue, why is this not part of the cutscene? All this text. Now the heroes and their armaments have come to be considered not more than a myth. The people of Legrand also forgot their unity and how they were meant to protect Legrand. This means not only protecting the universe, but also each other. They did not realize that separating themselves served only to weaken Legrand. The descendants only grew more selfish, foolish, and greedy. 'Twas this that brought the children of Linus to part ways and build opposing factions. The first men built Fandor, and the Dringers built their own kingdom of Altia. The two races began to vie with one another. At first the war was over the right to the hero's legacy and the armament within the Mugnetry. But as time passed and Legrand continued to suffer, the feud became about naught but power and domination. Legrand's people forgot that they are all brothers and began killing each other. And in their greed, Fandor sought to build more settlements and expand their territory. They hastily made their way towards the frontier, where people who did not wish to join any faction lived in peace high in the mountains. The locals refused to surrender their land without a fight, and the Fandorians were unable to establish a foothold. Refusing to acknowledge that the frontier is a harsh environment that cannot be tamed and cultivated, the Fandorians kept trying to conquer it, and they slaughtered their own long-forgotten brethren in the process. They turned the frontier into a cursed burial ground, and countless lives were lost. Wow, that sounds messed up. Now I understand why Lady Lucia refused to let us enter. I guess there really is a lot we don't know about. No. Will this chaos ever end? Turns out our history is built upon one enormous error. And thou, Scathia, thou thinkest that thou canst solve all this? Thou hast failed the Dahitree and handed it over to the accursed protege, and thou claimst thyself the mentor of the Fatebound, who shall restore Legrand? Your mentor is naught but a self-proclaimed spellbearer. For shame. Lucia, please stop this. Thou hast never been honest to them, Scathia. Thou let them follow thy path without question. She is the spellbearer, the one who can extract the armaments. What is there to question? Then hast thou witnessed her extracting one of thine own eyes? Hast thou beheld the spell in action? But she is the spellbearer. Lazarus told us to find. Ah, but hast thou seen proof of this? And not once hast thou bothered to think that thou mightest be deceived? How couldst thou even trust her, child? It's written in the history books. I've read about it before. It says that Lazarus is the one who... And yet I have lived longer than any of the authors of your history books. If I cannot trust anything or anyone, then why should I trust you? History is but Words that can be easily altered. And you ignorant outsiders have ever been foolish enough to swallow it whole. I have witnessed history, I have experienced it myself, but thou, for thee, it is but words upon the page. Well then, what is the true history then? Thou thinkest the North is a mess, no, child? To complete Legrand's horror, the War of the South began to heat up in Phineas. The cursed Norns, who eventually discovered the nefarious capability of their own art, began to shed blood in the South. For years they had performed a blasphemous act, building undead troops in secrecy to conquer the land. They forced the humans of the South to fight an endless battle against the deathless legions. In these desperate times, some humans ventured all the way to Targon, hoping to find better minerals to build stronger weapons. The rest of them came here, to New Murius, and asked for our help to end the bloody work of the cursed Norns. My father was the High Chancellor at the time, and he agreed to join the humans, and lead our troops to purge this terror in Phineas. The humans let our troops fight on the front lines, and right before our troops were about to be defeated, they fled. Like the cowards they were. They left our troops to perish, and my own father was brutally murdered. Murius was dealt a great blow that day, and I lost my mother soon after. But that is not the end of the story. To complete the misery, not long after the loss of my family, I was compelled to lose mine only sister, who was supposed to replace father. To be more exact, she left me. As she became accustomed to battle, she decided to continue the war against the cursed Norns. She kept fighting them until one day she decided to implement a morbid method for quickly annihilating the cursed Norns. A morbid method? Annihilating? What do you mean? I prefer not to speak of the details. 'Tis too hard. But Lady Scathia told us it was... So thou should have explained thyself then, Scathia. It would be childish of me to say I had no other choice, but I was young and foolish and careless. Thou hast broken the code, Scathia. The Ausis must seek no vengeance. It was a profound mistake, yes, but I didn't do what I did for the sake of revenge. I wanted to help, and I wanted to put an end to it all, but, as it turned out, I don't even know what I got myself into. Confess thy sins, Scathia. May it ease thy step later, when thou enterest the judgment of the Rashri tree. At the time, it was chaotic in the south. I saw suffering everywhere. I saw people losing their homes and children, losing their parents. We fought with all our might, but the cursed Norns kept coming. Their undead horde seemed to be indestructible. So I turned to the old way. I sought the dragons, hoping they would help us stop the cursed Norns, just as they had helped our ancestors repel the Firbolgs. I ventured east to find the last righteous dragonkin, who were rumored to roam the desert. That's how I got to know him, Lazarus. I asked for his help to end the war. He agreed under one condition, that I develop a strong bond with him and become his rider. You see, once he turned into a dragon, he would lose control, so he required someone he could trust to bring him under control. And you fell for each other, did you not? Thy foolish quest ended in a foolish love. Foolish, maybe to you. It sure didn't feel foolish to us at the time, so we departed to Phineas together. When we got there, everything went according to plan, but the cursed Norns refused to surrender so easily. At one point, Lazarus became enraged. I lost control of him, and the situation quickly got out of hand. Lazarus was only supposed to be a deterrent, something that would force the cursed Norns to surrender, but it all went horribly wrong. If only we'd realized that we rushed things, that our bond wasn't strong enough yet. No, please, tell me this isn't true, please. I'm so sorry, Eris. I regret deeply. I never meant to hide it from you. It's just, I didn't have the courage to tell you the truth. Not only you, Eris, but all of you. I swear, I still condemn myself to this day. No, no, I can't believe this. Why? Thy deed consumed them all, Scathia. The pure Norns also suffered greatly. Why? What possessed you to do that? I can't believe this. The heroes mentioned that the Dringers were granted wondrous powers to protect and keep order throughout Legrand. Inheriting the blood of the heroes has allowed them to possess both great strength of dragons and minds like those of humans. That's why I asked for their help. They were the ones who could have ended the interminable war. Yet none of them have mastered their own power. They can only use one of their abilities at a time. They had forgotten their own origins and all that the heroes had taught them. Thou shouldst have known better, Scathia. Clearly, such power can become destructive if left unchecked. Such might can bring naught but destruction. Thou wert too naive if thou thoughtest that a strong bond could be built with such a shallow foundation. You know nothing of our foundation, Lucia. You dare not speak to me of it again. I can't believe what you have done. I know, Arya. That's probably why Lyra has chosen me, condemned me to live with the aftermath of my sins all this time. You're always lecturing us about salvation, but it turns out you're responsible for a massacre yourself. You really set a whole new level of cruelty. Don't know what else can top that. I want to end the war, to end all killing in Legrand, but now, this is the good that fate has led me to? To you and Lazarus? I'm beginning to doubt this journey and its noble cause. No, you can distrust me, but you can't lose faith, Arya. Please, you can't just ignore Lear's plan. Please don't say anything more about it. I don't know what to think about it right now. I don't... Lear works in mysterious ways. In fact, Lear's methods are probably beyond anything we could ever comprehend. Speak forth, Ahriman. What hast thou in thy mind? I'm not going to blame Lady Scathia. What happened was hardly her fault alone. Oh, Ahriman, one knows not whether thou playest at subtlety or art simply ignorant. In the past, I have also killed many people without knowing their true goals or purposes. Right and wrong, good and evil. These are not for us to judge. They are up to Lear to decide. Besides thine own dark history, I can see that thou and Scathia seem to share another thing in common. Both of you love making excuses. Surely, everyone has sinned to some degree, but everyone also has a chance for redemption as long as they are still breathing. And the most obvious tool Lyra has given us to pursue our redemption is time. Thou art not the one to say which acts can and cannot be redeemed, Ahriman. That's true. I am definitely not in a position to speak of such matters. Neither can I say whether what Lady Scathia did was right or wrong. Instead, I was merely explaining my view about what was done at the time, for good or for ill. And I firmly believe that true redemption is to see our guilt as a compass that leads to a better self. Well said, but thou art about to see what will be left of her after she enters the judgment of the Rashua tree. Scathia, this may be thy chance to find the redemption thou seekest. The Rashua tree's judgment may be harsh, but perhaps it will grant thee mercy. It is one of the reasons why I came back here. Well, the time is nigh. So much text. Your Excellency, preparations are complete. Thank you, Ursav. Thou mayest leave now. I will not be far if your Excellency requires anything. Fatebound, I may dislike the fact that you are entering the tree, but you have fulfilled the requirements, and may begin your trial. I shall not break mine own word without cause. You may find the trial harsh, but its fairness is undeniable, for the tree will read all of you like a book. So, if any of you are likely to find such revelation distressing, I suggest not entering. We await your command, Miss Arya. Arya, you can turn me away at any time, but please don't deny that you need the armament. Legrand needs you to have it. Thou hast proven thy incompetence, Scathia. What dost thou expect from thee in thy charge? They have fulfilled the requirements. You shouldn't doubt them, Lucia. Arya, look, I'm about to face the consequences of my actions, and I might not survive the judgment. But no matter what happens, you must continue the journey. You don't know how hard it is for me to keep my faith in this journey, and the Fatebound. We've come this far. It'll all be in vain if we just walk away now, won't it? We need to be validated as the true Fatebound, and Lady Scathia needs to find her redemption. Then so be it. Lady Scathia, you told me to be prepared for the truth about each one of us as we approach the Rashira tree. This isn't how I expected this to happen. Everything has become so complicated now, but I don't think we should keep dwelling on this. Wow, I didn't expect that out of you, Finn. You really are good at surprising people, you know that? No, I'm not doing this for you. I don't even know if this is all real. But doesn't look like we have much choice, do we? Why are you always so eager to get into the heat of action, Finn? Finn, wait. I just don't know what we're getting ourselves into. If we fail, Legrand is doomed. What else are we going to do? Legrand can't protect itself, and the situation out there is already getting worse, as we waste time here bickering. Oh, Finny, well said indeed, but this really makes my head hurt. There are always choices, but we won't reach our destination if we just stand still. By saying things like that, you're just forcing us into a bad choice, Eris. The clock is ticking. It is time for a decision. Alright, we're going in. Great. Time to jump in blind. Seems everything is decided now. Meet me at the tree whenever you are ready. Okay, let's go. Ugh, so much talking. Alright, gonna save it before I go. This is a safe point, isn't it? Alright.